Archbad on the beat.
Hello people, I'm David and this is Btekt. I've got some more sweet visuals for you and a whole bunch of samples from the new Huawei Mate 20 Pro. I've had some really amazing comments from you guys recently and I appreciate it so much. Your kind words keep me going, so if you like what we're doing here, it'd be great if you could hit that subscribe button, double click the notification bell and smash the like button for me. If you've ordered a Mate 20 Pro or if you're thinking about it, then the chances are that a big part of the reason for doing so is that camera. The triple-lensed Leica Matrix camera system on the back of the Mate 20 Pro is a seriously versatile system, a feature-packed camera app, and a zoom range in full-frame equivalent terms from 16mm right up to 260. This camera system is more than just Huawei hardware with Leica lenses. This camera is co-engineered by Huawei and Leica, and is an evolution on the sensational P20 Pro, which first introduced the triple camera concept. Huawei definitely took us by surprise when they released the P20 Pro. A 20 megapixel black and white, a 40 megapixel RGB, and an 8 megapixel telephoto, all working together to give us the best possible 10 megapixel photo it could. And now with a much more powerful processor, the system has been revised and improved. The black and white sensor is gone now, and has been replaced with a color ultra wide angle lens. The 16mm full frame equivalent is definitely one of the highlights of this camera. I just love to shoot with it. It really gives impressive shots, and the HDR function gets you some seriously dramatic landscape shots, giving you all the details in the sky as well as on the ground. Switch to the normal lens and it's quite a bit faster with an f1.8 aperture as opposed to an f2.2 on the ultra wide. So it's more suited to capturing those blurry backgrounds and low light shots. The telephoto lens has an f2.4 aperture. The image stabilization with this lens was a bit shaky before the recent update, but they seem to have taken care of that now. We have a 40 megapixel sensor with a 27mm full frame equivalent and an f1.8 lens, a 20 megapixel ultra wide 16mm f2.2 lens, and an 8 megapixel sensor with an 80mm telephoto lens, optical image stabilization, and an f2.4 aperture. There's also a dual tone LED flash taking up the fourth space in the square. So I'm going to open the camera app and we're going to have a look through. The default mode is photo, and in this mode, across the top you get some options. The first one takes you to the barcode scanner, but here you get a few more options too, like identify, which will do just that, giving you descriptions and links about objects that you point the camera at. Shopping is basically the same thing, sending you Amazon links with prices and descriptions of the products that the camera can see. And translate can translate any text, which I can see being incredibly useful. Also along the top in photo mode, there's the flash toggle, which can be kept always on for when shooting video. The next one is moving pictures, which will record a very brief moment of video just before the picture's taken, to give you context to the picture, and it can be toggled on or off here. Next one is the color options, letting you choose between standard, vivid or smooth. And finally at the top here is the settings cog. Here you have the option to change the image resolution. By default the Mate 20 Pro shoots 10 megapixel images, although whenever you take a shot, all three sensors work together and combine the data. Here in the settings you can change the resolution up to 40 megapixels if you want to. This will obviously give you a more detailed image, which would be suitable if you wanted to crop in heavily on the photo. But for the best looking shots, it's advisable to keep it at 10 megapixels. The master AI can be toggled on or off here. On previous Huawei devices, after a while you would want to turn off the AI because of over-sharpening and an oversaturation, but this time I've not felt compelled to turn it off once. It's much improved over the P20 Pro and is now able to recognize a wider range of scenes and objects. There's also settings here for the GPS tag, capture smiles and the ultra snapshot, which you can take by double tapping the volume button whilst the screen is off. This will take a shot in about 0.3-0.4 of a second, which is one of those features that's really useful as long as you remember it's there. On the right of the screen is where the button to switch between the ultra wide, normal and telephoto lenses. It starts at 0.6 times, and then 1 times, 3 times, and then 5 times hybrid zoom, which is a cross between the digital and the optical zoom. And even at times 10 magnification, it's very hard to tell that this is a digital zoom. It's truly a massive zoom range, from 16mm to 260mm. This alone makes the camera a lot of fun to use, but we've only just scratched the surface with what this camera is actually capable of. Left of the photo mode is portrait mode. In this mode, you can only use the 1x and the 3x lens, and of course the front facing camera. You get great portrait shots with the front and the rear camera. And here you get the option to control the shape of the bokeh balls, changing them to heart shapes, circles, swirls or discs. There is also some very cool lighting effects that can be applied to your images, and the Mate 20 does a good job with the edge detection here, allowing it to remove the background for some really cool shots. The last option here in portrait mode is the beautification options, and surprisingly this is the first beauty mode that I've seen that doesn't make me look like a garbage pail kid. The beautifying effects can also be added to the front facing video. Night mode has been improved over the P20 Pro by giving you the option to control the length of the exposure and the ISO. It can also be used with any of the 3 lenses and even at ×10 magnification, and it gives fantastic results. I remember being blown away by the night mode in the P20 Pro earlier this year, and now being able to do it with this beautiful ultra wide angle lens, well, it's just a joy. Tap the shutter in night mode and the Mate 20 Pro will take multiple and long exposures for about 4 seconds. The brilliant stabilizer takes care of any handshake during this time. If you like taking photos at night, even if you're a pro, then you need to have this phone. It's as simple as that. In aperture mode, you get a 1x, 2x or 3x zoom and a simulated aperture from f.95 down to f16. But what's new here with the Mate 20 Pro is that you can shoot video in this mode now thanks to the raw power of the Kirin 980, allowing for real-time video processing. You can shoot video up to 4K 30 frames per second and up to 60 frames per second at 1080p, and generally the quality is outstanding and perfectly smooth thanks to the stabilizer, especially when you shoot with the ultra wide angle lens. However, things take a turn for the worse when you shoot video in low light. The stabilizer seems to be out of sync and creates a mess of the footage. I was really quite surprised at how bad this footage was. When I was recording it on the phone screen, it didn't seem that bad, but when I checked the footage back on my PC, well, you can see for yourself. There is excellent Pro mode, giving you full manual controls of the camera. The shutter speed ranges from 1/4000th of a second right down to 30 seconds, so it has the versatility to capture light trails. And the ISO goes from 50 up to an incredible 102,400. Just remember, when you go above ISO 6400, then you lose the ability to control all the other settings. Video in Pro mode is a bit disappointing though, because you only get control of the exposure compensation, the metering and the white balance. Shutter speed and ISO are still controlled automatically. Before I go on, I'd like to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Direct Mobiles. They sponsor us here at Btekt and have a great selection of phones at excellent prices, as well as an amazing 23 years of award-winning customer service. Check in the video description below for a link to their deals, or search directmobiles.co.uk. Under the More tab, the first option we see is the slow motion. But I'm a little bit worried about this one, because on the P20 Pro, the super slow motion was a bit dodgy. I did a super slow motion comparison with that phone, the XZ2 and the S9 Plus, and I got seriously strange results. I did ask Huawei what was going on with that, but it was quite obvious that the P20 Pro was using software to simulate the super slow motion. Click the tab above if you want to see that video. And I think that this time with the Mate 20 Pro, although that it's been improved, unfortunately it still looks like it's the same software-based frame interpolation. Because the Huawei can't see the blades in the first place, it can't calculate what the next frame should look like. This is a typical artifact that you'd get with software that can't correctly understand the scene that it's trying to slow down. Panorama does what it says on the tin, with options to either do a horizontal or vertical sweep. Monochrome lets you shoot photos in black and white, and has its own aperture, portrait and pro modes, although the ISO is limited to 6400 in the monochrome pro mode. AR lens gives you 3D emojis with the front camera. It tracks your facial movements and overlays a cute cuddly character on top, and lets you record a short video. The light painting mode is back, letting you trail lights across the screen. There's nothing new here, but it's still fun to play around with. HDR mode can be found here too, and is super impressive, getting you shots that some DSLRs could only dream of. It can be selected here, or it will be automatically applied if the Master AI is switched on. The time-lapse lets you shoot time-lapse photography with ease, and will deliver you a 720p file. There are the standard photo filters that you get with most phones under the Filters tab. 3D Panorama lets you take a 360-degree image. Watermark gives you a selection of different overlays for your photos, and again, there's nothing new here from Huawei phones. Document will recognize any text that you might see in a shot and then crop in on that area for you. Underwater changes the control system of the camera to make it compatible for when using Huawei's underwater housing. moving the on-screen controls to the physical buttons. And finally, the download tab will just allow you to download the good food color settings for the camera. Overall, I think that the Mate 20 Pro has an excellent camera system, but it's not without its weak points. Main one being the video quality in low light. Seems like it's not working very well with the stabilizer in low light conditions. Video quality during the day is outstanding, but as soon as the lights get a bit low, the camera needs to use a slower shutter speed, presumably, and the stabilizer has issues and gives this horrible jello effect. And that super slow motion. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they just said what it really was, simulated super slow motion. I could live with that. The fact that any phone can do it to me is amazing, and I'm not sure why nobody else has really picked up on it. But they've been blagging that 960 frames per second for ages now since the P20 Pro, and getting away with it. But I remain hopeful for the P30. I'm David Wildman, and this is Btekt.
Arch on the